Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are embarking on a really fascinating journey. We're going to uncover the deep, ancient roots of a truly profound spiritual lineage. We're exploring a lineage of light that has shaped one of India's most revered traditions, and we'll be decoding a history that has miraculously survived, unbroken, for centuries.
But real quick, before we get started, I want to formally welcome you to Gyan Kosh. If you love diving deep into our rich spiritual history and finding clarity through these explainers, please take just a quick second to hit that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is absolutely crucial. It's exactly what helps us keep bringing this ancient wisdom right to you.
Section 1. The Lineage of Light. Okay, let's dive into this. If you remember where we left off last time, we were standing at the beautiful banks of the Kaveri River, specifically at the Samadhi in Govindapuram. We introduced this monumental figure named Bhagavan Nama Bodhendral. Now, we called him the 59th Acharya of the Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. But let's pause right there for a second. If we just kind of throw that title around, we completely miss the immense weight of it. I mean, what even is the Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham? And what does it actually mean to be the 59th Acharya? Well, to answer that, we have to travel way back in time.
Our story actually begins centuries before Bodhendral was even a thought. We're transported to the lush, quiet village of Kaladi in ancient Kerala. Picture this beautiful landscape. This was the birthplace of a young ascetic named Adi Shankara. Just imagine a young boy who took up the path of renunciation super early in life, choosing to literally walk barefoot across the entire vastness of the Indian subcontinent.
Part 2. Adi Shankara and Advaita. You see, during Adi Shankara's time, the philosophical landscape of India was, well, incredibly chaotic. There were all these competing schools of thought, intense philosophical debates going on everywhere, and just widespread spiritual confusion. Shankara walked directly into the center of this chaos for one reason: to establish a profound, razor-sharp truth.
And that truth basically boils down to just one word: Advaita. Advaita is the philosophical concept of non-duality, and it was the absolute beating heart of Shankara's teachings. It's this profound realization that despite all the massive diversity and chaos we see all around us in the world, there is an ultimate, unbreakable unity to existence.
Shankara captured this so beautifully when he said, "You and Brahman are not different. The Atman and Paramatman are one." Essentially, your individual soul and the supreme universal reality, they are completely identical. And Shankara didn't just casually toss these words around, right? He breathed them. He traveled across the whole country, getting into these intense philosophical debates with the absolute greatest scholars of his time, proving this reality, not just through brilliant logic, but through his own lived experience.
Now, what's really interesting here is that this brings up a fascinating problem. How does a mortal man ensure his wisdom actually outlives him? Shankara knew his physical body wasn't going to last forever. If this pure, incredibly hard-won knowledge was going to survive for future generations, it couldn't just rely on him being alive to preach it. He needed a grand solution to protect this light.
Section 3. The Guru Parampara. So Shankara's grand solution was institutional. He established mutts, or peethams, which are basically sacred seats of learning in different corners of the country. Think of these like giant spiritual fortresses designed specifically to guard and spread the wisdom of Advaita.
And to make absolutely sure the knowledge remained perfectly pure, he instituted the Guru Parampara. This is an unbroken lineage passing knowledge directly from master to disciple. Picture it like an ancient glowing flame. The master holds this flame and, at the exact right time, lights the candle of his most qualified disciple. That disciple becomes the new master, and the cycle just continues. It's an unbroken chain of wisdom, passed hand to hand, mind to mind, without a single interruption.
And that brings us directly to the Kamakshi Amman Temple in Kanchipuram. As one of the 7 holy cities of India, it's right here that the Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham was established, blessed by Adi Shankara himself. Ever since that ancient founding, whenever an Acharya departs or steps down, his successor immediately takes his place, carrying the exact same responsibility forward.
Section 4. Role of the Jagaguru. But wait, who is the actual person sitting at the head of such a massive institution? The title they hold carries an almost unimaginable weight and authority.
The head of the Peetham is referred to as a Jagadguru. Let's break that down. Jagat means world and Guru means guide, so a world teacher. This is fundamentally different from just a local priest or a regional guide.
A Jagat Guru is meant to be a universal beacon of light for all of humanity.
So the crucial point is that taking on this mantle carries an almost superhuman burden. I mean, to be a Jagat Guru requires complete mastery of the Vedas. You need an incredibly deep knowledge of the Upanishads and the Brahma Sutras. You absolutely must possess unmatched logical reasoning to debate and defend the philosophy against literally any challenger. But, and actually this might be the most important part, you must balance that supreme intellect with infinite compassion for the simplest of devotees. It is an incredibly rare combination of head and heart.
Section 5. The 59th Acharya. So, now that we deeply understand the gravity of the institution and the role itself, let's bring our focus back to the man we originally set out to study, Bhagavan Nama Bodhendral.
59. Just take a second and think about the sheer generational weight behind that number. From the time of Adi Shankara, 58 supreme masters held that flame, protected it, and passed it on. 58 entire lifetimes of unbroken dedication happened before this massive, world-altering responsibility finally fell onto the shoulders of Bodhendral.
Let's move to the timeline and see how this built. Tracing this lineage through time, we see its origins way back in the 8th century with Adi Shankara and the establishment of the Pitams. Fast forward centuries later to the 17th century. The 58th Acharya, Sri Vishwadhikendra Saraswati, is leading the Pitam. Under his strict guidance, a young boy named Purushothaman was raised and trained. That young boy, Purushothaman, would eventually take his vows, inherit the mantle from his master, and become the 59th Acharya, Bodhendral.
Section 6. The Power of Ramanama. Understanding this lineage is absolutely critical to understanding Bodhendral's ultimate legacy, specifically his championing of Nama Siddhanta, or the chanting of the divine name.
And this brilliantly illustrates why context matters so much. Nama Siddhanta was not a rebellion. It was an accessible evolution. When Bodhendrala preached the immense power of chanting Ramanama, some people might have thought he was, breaking away from the strict, complex Vedic traditions, but he wasn't at all. He was speaking with the full, heavy authority of a Jagat Guru. He was taking the exact same absolute truth of Advaita that Adi Shankara established and translating it into its most accessible, beautiful form for the common person.
What is truly awe-inspiring here is that this is an unbroken chain surviving centuries of change. The exact lineage that Bodhendral was a vital part of, it continues today. The Kanchi Kamakoti Pitam still stands. The light is still being passed. Through hundreds of years, through political turmoil, social upheavals, and the complete modernization of the world, that spiritual flame has never once been extinguished.
Which leaves us with a really profound thought to carry forward into our own lives. In the Kali Yuga, which is an age characterized by distraction and spiritual decline, how can an ordinary, everyday person possibly attain moksha, or ultimate liberation? That exact burning question is what drove Bodhendral on his path of Nama Sankirtanam. We're going to explore that profound search in our next explainer. Until then, let's hold on to the power of the divine name. Rama, 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 Rama. Bhagavan Namas Bodhendral Sadguru Maharaj Ki Jai.
Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible exploration today. If you enjoyed this dive into Gyan Kosh, please remember to hit that like button, share this explainer with anyone who loves spiritual history, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out. We have so much more hidden spiritual history to uncover together. See you next time.